Hi, I'm Eliza, the author of In the Quiet and most recently Ache. Both books are out through HarperCollins. And today I thought I'd talk a little bit about Ache. So Ache is the story of a community after a bushfire, and specifically around these 4 generations of women and how the fire has impacted them in different ways. There's a lot of animals in Ache. I am an animal nut. If you go onto my Instagram, there's just pretty much pictures of cats and horses and goats. And I'm actually out here right now with all my animals, so I don't know whether you can see, but up the back there is a couple of goats and a pony. And this is Jem, my beautiful riding horse. This is Birdie, and most importantly, although I shouldn't say that, this is my beautiful little dog Hugo, who is always right next to me. So it was really lovely to be able to incorporate animals as much as I did into Ache. There are a lot of horses, there are rescue animals, there's a pig, there's chickens, there's dogs. Probably the 2 most important types of animal in Ache for me is horses, and in particular Luna, who is the main character's childhood pony, and she actually takes the main character Annie and her daughter Pip out of the fires and off the mountain, which is probably one of the first ideas I had for the story. I knew I wanted to have the horse take the characters through all of that and have them both survive, and I'm really glad that it ended up being in there. And the other thing that I have incorporated quite a lot into the story are lyrebirds, and I am obsessed with lyrebirds. There are a lot of bushwalks and things like that near where I live, so I'm sort of in the Yarra Valley region near the Dandenong Ranges, and it's such a joy to go on bushwalks and hear like a rosella and a magpie and a cockatoo call, all coming from the exact same spot, and sort of like creeping along trying to see if you can catch sight of a lyrebird. They're just the most beautiful, magical little creatures, and it was really special being able to incorporate them into the story as a symbol of, regeneration and recovery for the characters, but also for the landscape. I think there's a lot of animals just incorporated generally into the day-to-day life of Annie and her family, which was something, again, I'm really passionate about. My life revolves a lot around animals, and it was a really special thing to be able to include. And basically I wanted to explore the different ways that people to react to trauma, and it's probably a bit of a follow-on from In the Quiet, which explored the ways different members of the same family responded to the death of their mother, and how even losing the same person in the same family, the responses that people have are so unique and so complex. And this is sort of similar, like the family they've had a very similar experience, and they've lost different things, and they're reacting to that trauma in very different ways. In the book there are characters who have become very rigid and very controlling, and that's sort of how they've had to be to regain that sense of safety after the fires. And there are other characters who have just switched off and they've become very ambivalent about things, and they've almost like withdrawn. And there's also characters in the book who have become quite reckless and thrown caution to the wind, and they don't want to think critically, they don't want to be careful, they don't want to look after themselves, they just want to disappear for a little while. And there's also the granddaughter, Pip, who is the youngest in this 4 generations of women. She has a scarf that she wears over her face because she needs a physical barrier between her and the rest of the world to feel safe. Like she's so deeply affected by what she's been through, and quite a big part of the story is about how her relationship with that scarf changes as she begins to feel safe again and engage with the landscape. And lastly, before I let you go, I really wanted to explore how much landscape can play into our identity, and how much it can change you. Oh dear, Jem has just put her foot in her bucket. Yep. Anyway, how much the changes of the landscape impact the characters, and how much Annie, who has lived in the city and off the mountain for a very long time, is still really impacted by what the fire's done to this place that is so core to her identity. And it's such a special place for her, and it's a place that she inhabits quite a lot, even though she's not there physically. And what do you do when a place like that's become damaged? How do you find your sense of self? How do you reconstruct your narrative around something like that? Anyway, I will leave it there. I hope you read it and I hope you like it, and thank you very much for listening to me. And from all of us, woo, ponies, and back to the goats. Thank you very much and have a lovely day. Bye.